How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we're going to talk about the hit piece from Media Matters against Fox News anchor Tucker Carlson. Now, what they did was go on YouTube, find a bunch of old audio from 2006 to 2011 from when Tucker was calling to the show called Bubba the Love Sponge. Now, I've never heard the show before, but I see that it's a shock-jock program. So when you call into a shock-jock, you're going to say some things that could be considered offensive by some, but it's not meant to be done in any kind of offensive way. You're just kind of having fun. That's what you do. It's just like locker room talk on the radio waves. That's just what it is. Now, Media Matters and others are trying to say that the comments were sexist, misogynistic, hateful, all kind of other obs, and this that you could throw in there. Tucker has resisted calls to apologize, resign, etc. He's like, look, I'm not going to apologize, but if you want to come onto my show on Fox News, we could talk about it there. But I do have audio of what he said. I'll play the audio right now. After we get done with that, I'll talk about what he said specifically. I'll talk about how the media is reacting to it. I'll give you my own 2 cents. Then I wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Well, actually, he's not in prison for that. Warren Jeffs didn't marry underage girls.
No, he's in prison for facilitation of child rape.
Whatever the hell that means.
That means
he's in prison. He's in prison because he's weird and unpopular, and he has a different lifestyle that other people find creepy.
No, he's an accessory to the rape of children. That is a felony, and a serious one at that.
What do you mean an accessory? He's like got some weird religious cult where he thinks it's okay to, marry underage girls, but he didn't do it. Why wouldn't the guy who actually did it, who had sex with an underage girl, he should be the one who's doing life?
You know what, in my brief experience, what gets women going is arguing with them.
Really?
Yeah.
Brad, I never use that.
It's true. You debate politics with a woman and just go, just full-blown out there, especially feminism. If you're talking to a feminist, and she's giving you, men really need to be more sensitive. And this, actually, men don't need to be more sensitive. You just need to be quiet and kind of do what you're told.
And lighten up a little bit, bitch.
They love it. Well, I love women, but they're extremely primitive. They're basic. They're not that hard to understand.
Putting Paris and Brittany in a commercial with Obama is classic old school miscegenation, old South.
Uncle Tom.
It's old South. These two young white girls are going to be dating a black man.
So they're trying to say that he's coming for your pristine white daughters by putting two of the biggest white whores in America? But first of all, there's no Canadian woman that you'd want to pay to sleep with. Anybody who answers my trophy wife is my favorite possession is my hero. I don't give a shit. I'm voting for the guy.
You don't think she's that hot?
Come on. I would have sexual relations with her.
I got to be honest with you. I don't like her, and I wouldn't vote to confirm her if I were a U.S. senator. But I do feel sorry for her in that way. I feel sorry for unattractive women. I mean, there's nothing they did.
All right, so you heard that. You see what's going on. Now, before I even get into it, let's address one thing that could be an elephant in the room. Tucker at the time was over on MSNBC, not Fox News. So if you're saying that Fox News should fire him, then what about MSNBC? So there'd be any kind of repercussions against them? I mean, you already had Joy-Ann Reid. She was over on MSNBC making kind of crazy comments on her blog. She did go on an apology tour, but she has her show on MSNBC. So if you're going to call for Tucker to be fired from Fox, why not get on MSNBC for having these quote unquote toxic people working for them? But I digress. Let's get into the actual audio here. Now, there's a lot to quote unquote unpack, as the cool kids say. But the main thing I think the media has been keying in on is the comments made about Elena Kagan. Let's just be honest here for a moment. I'm not going to say that I am the most beautiful man on earth, but when you see Elena Kagan, you're not going to say Miss America. You're not going to say Melania Trump. You're not going to say that she is the epitome of beauty. It is what it is. So what he said here in reality is not that far from the honest truth, if we're going to be honest. Okay. I'm not really sure why they're keying in on that, but that's just what they're saying. That's not sexist or misogynistic. It's just the reality of the situation. Now, there's some more, egregious things here. Talking about the child bride. They're trying to say that he was offending the person that got married to a 16-year-old when they were 27. I'm not quite sure. He could have been, but what I think happened here was he was saying if the person that facilitated the marriage is in jail, why aren't the people that actually did it in jail? Like, if you arrange a marriage between somebody that's age 16 and 27, but you didn't get married to the young girl, if you are in jail, then the person that got married to the young girl should also be in jail. I mean, that seems kind of like it's an uneven punishment. Maybe you're a political prisoner of sorts. You know, if it's wrong for the person to facilitate it, then it's wrong for the person to actually do it. That was the point that he was making, in my humble opinion. If I'm wrong about that, let me know in the comments below. But moving right along, talking about Britney Spears and Paris Hilton, this is a point where I could prove that Tucker did not come at it from a racist point of view like Joe Biden, because they were trying to say, oh, Tucker, you can't get on Joe Biden for what he said in 1975. If you had these comments from 2006 to 2011, it's the same thing. No, it's not, because nowhere in Tucker's comments did he say anything that was racist. Matter of fact, going back to the whole Paris Hilton and Britney Spears thing, he kind of like threw them under the bus and protected Obama, because the host was trying to say, you know, you put Britney Spears and Paris in the same commercial. It's about promoting miscegenation, you know, blacks and whites getting together, and it's somehow wrong. He was saying, come on, man, you trying to protect your precious white daughters from the black man with these two, you know, less than scrupulous women. I mean, come on, what are we talking about? So he defended Obama and threw the two white women under the bus. So how can you say that he is racist? What Joe Biden was talking about was not wanting to have integration, saying things like, you know, I don't want my white child next to a black child. That wasn't the exact quote, but I'll put the exact quote in the box. You can see it for yourself and see how you feel about what Joe Biden said in 1975. And this is the guy that's going to be the Democrat front runner if he decides to run, potentially. So I think what Tucker said about Joe Biden has not been affected at all by his comments that have come out. Really, this story is a big time nothing burger, but they're trying to call for him to resign. I'm glad that he has resisted any kind of call to do so. When you start to apologize and kowtow and bend the knee to the left, you can never get out of that whole cycle. It's going to constantly happen till you like that. You'll never be able to get beyond it. You always got to apologize. They're going to keep doing it to you. It's like a bully. If they keep punching you in the face and you don't do anything to protect yourself, they're going to keep on doing it until you protect yourself. Then they know they don't have a soft target anymore. You can't just do whatever you want because they're going to defend themselves. It's the same thing going on here with Tucker Carlson. So hats off to him for actually defending himself, unlike many others. Sometimes when they see something like this happen, they come out and they want to apologize. You know, people like Ralph Northam and Joy-Ann Reid did that. And it's weird because then they try to come back and say, oh, that's not me. That's hilarious, because speaking about NBC, which is where Tucker was when this whole thing happened in 2006 to 2011-ish, Joy-Ann Reid was also in the same place, MSNBC, and she had this quote-unquote homophobic blog she had to apologize for, kept apologizing over and over and over and over and over again, and never stopped. Terry Crews, same thing. You want to apologize for this, then you got to apologize for that. They'll make up things for you to apologize about. I say at a certain point, stop apologizing. You don't have to do it anymore. Just press forward. These comments on the shock-jock radio show are a total nothing burger. I did not hear anything racist. I did not hear anything sexist, really. He was talking about the nature of men and nature of women. Women generally like strong men to tell them what to do, when to do it, and to take the lead. That's just the reality situation. Now, some women don't like that, but that's only some women. The majority of women like strong men that take the lead. The majority of men like submissive women that take the supportive role. That's just nature. That's not to say that men are better than women or vice versa. We're equals, but we're not equivalent to each other. We're complementary. That's how it is. Now, that's not always the case. Sometimes you have weak men and strong women, and that's fine. But that's not the norm. That's not the average person. Just like some men are gay, some women are gay. That's okay for them, but that's not the norm. We're talking about the average, everyday Joe and Jill. Simple as that. So what he said here is correct. There is no sexism, misogynistic-ism, or any kind of oberkerist. It's just reality. There's no racism here. He defended Obama. He is not in any position that he has to flee. There's nothing to hide here. I say go on TV tonight and talk about it, really. That's what I would do. This hit piece of Media Matters is a big-time nothing burger. It'll go away pretty soon. It's getting a lot of attention and clicks right now, but in a matter of about 3 or 4 days, it'll be totally over. So what do you think? Do you think Tucker Carlson is a misogynist, a racist, a sexist, any kind of other oberkerist? Or do you believe that he was right here to stand his ground, to not apologize to these people that put out these crazy hit pieces talking about, oh, we went through 100 hours of audio, really? So basically what you did is went on YouTube and found a bunch of shows that Tucker may have been on, listened to the whole show, and then compiled a bunch of audio, cut it together to make it appear to be more menacing or somehow wrong. In the video that I have from Media Matters, which I will put in the box, I could see that they cut certain audio because I've heard audio from other outlets and it's longer and it shows more context. This ain't nothing but a hit piece. It's just more of the left's so-called resistance against the right, but it's not going to work. The more they try to fight the situation, the worse things get for them. It's like being caught in quicksand. The more you struggle, the more you try to fight to get your way out of it, the more you're going to sink. You should just relax, stop getting into the quicksand to begin with, and just walk the right way. That's what you should walk, but that is all I got. So whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.